Welcome back to my 2 cents, and this is my second video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the diary of a CEO. There's one particular episode that he done with a lady called Codie. I think that's her name. I don't know the rest of his surname and whatever, but I know that's her name. She gives inspirational messages and quotes and stuff. And just want to make this clear. In this video, I am not trying to bash anything. I just want to correct a certain thing that was said on that particular episode with this lady. And this lady's the one who said that. So I love the Diary of a CEO. And I really like that lady and other stuff she said. But like I said, I'm more for truth. And I want to say my opinion on things, like my 2 cents on stuff. I don't take sides and things, but I correct what I think is wrong. And in this particular situation, I am trying to correct what I think it was not right. So she was in the Diary of a CEO, and then I think this is what she said. She was giving an example on that. She was giving an example about South Africa. She shouldn't have picked South Africa for an example when she lives in the United States here, where there is many examples to give first. So to me, I took it as if because it's South Africa, it's easy to pick on, or you just think we're so poor to the point that that's it. First you go overseas to give an example that you could have given here in the United States. And the example she gave was she was talking to the Diary of a CEO guy. She said, Stephen, she said, in South Africa, in the slums, she said in the slums in South Africa, pause. Now right there, let's pause. Could please somebody tell me, I'm South African, and I've never seen people living in slums in South Africa. Yes, people lives in shacks like mukukus, but those really are done nicely when you get inside. People clean. It's really nice there, but it doesn't qualify to be called a slum just because it's not rich or high standard or whatever. But for what I remember, and unless it's new, South Africa people do not live in slums. I really never seen slums in South Africa. I mean, really, I never really. Maybe it does, but I don't know. It doesn't. My point is that South Africans do not live in slums, okay? They do not live in slums. Because I looked and Googled the definition of a slum. It's really somewhere wet, nasty, and water just... So South Africans don't do that. So she was giving me that example about, okay, let's look at her video. And then I'll explain. Okay. Let's look at her video here, and then I'll explain. I'll give my 2 cents, okay?
Crypto scam, this whatever, it's also appealing to people.
Yeah.
Because it's quick.
Yeah, it's true. Well, you know what's, I actually was reading somewhere a story about in South Africa, in the slums, they have the highest concentration of the largest televisions per square foot of the houses. So that if you've been there, and I've actually never been, so I can't validate, but you will see very small little rooms with huge televisions. And I thought that was interesting, but it actually makes sense because maybe it comes down to a belief that people don't think they're ever going to get out. And so they think the only chance of getting out is going into whatever the short-term pleasure is. It's like if you never think you're going to escape your everyday reality, which is actually kind of miserable, then you're going to buy the PlayStation because why wouldn't you? Why would you save and try to get out when you've never seen anybody else get out?
But what does the PlayStation means so much more to you in that moment than a PlayStation. It means it's self-worth.
Yeah.
It's one tiny token that you are successful.
Yeah.
That you can show your friends, or that you can just even fear and self-esteem. It's so much more than a PlayStation. The thing that invalidates you, in this case money, will be the thing that has the greatest chance of making you feel valid. And so if in my house, the lack of money was always the thing that caused.
All right. So She said in the South Africans in the slum. She didn't say she knows. She said she read. So she doesn't know. She said I read in South Africa she said in the slums. I'm like, oh, which slums? Which I never seen slums. Okay. All right. First of all, where she goes wrong first is when she crossed over the seas. She goes to pick South Africa to give an example. Whereas she could stick right here in the United States and give an example. Because I could find many examples here in the United States to give to what she was trying to say. There's many. Example one, she could, instead of saying South Africa TVs, whatever she would say, she could say, in America, where most homes are trailers or they are single wide, some single wides are really that old. They're so old that they are really old. The single wides, they could, to me, when you say single wide in America, you're literally saying a mukuku, because those mukukus are done so nicely and so good, and they don't have too much regulation as the United States just have a single wide. I mean, it's the same. These ones here are even run down than the people doing mukukus back home. They're getting new things. They're using wood and they're using like roofings to do those things that, I mean, they're not bad. They're livable. People live within their means if they have to, right? So instead of, this is the example I would give, because she does not have to cross the seas and go pick South Africa for that example. She could really say, in the United States, in trailers, you will find a beautiful truck in each of those trailer homes parked outside, right? Parked outside, but because I'm guessing what she was saying is that people in those places, which is not a slum, by the way, people who live in Mukukus, they have TVs. Yeah. People who live in trailer parks here, or in, not even a trailer, single wides, or like a low home situation, they will really have beautiful trucks parked outside. And if you know a truck, it's very expensive. It's not cheap at all. They're parked outside. She could have done that. That's just one of them, right? They have beautiful trucks, even beautiful cars besides the truck, parked outside their homes. Most of the time you will see that. She could really give that example about America, right? Because Americans do that. Why was South Africa her first choice? I don't understand this, because it really blows my mind that everyone here just think because you are in Africa or they can just get, no, because in America here, there's many examples. There is many examples she could have picked and give to that situation. It's the same thing, right? Those people who have TVs, they're not in slums. And first of all, people need TV to watch, all right? You want people to go work hard and come home and can't even unwind by just watching TV. Come on. You got people here in the United States. Many people actually in the United States does not even own anything. But mostly in those South African places you are picking, who don't even live in slums, right? They don't really owe anything. Or they don't owe much. Whatever you see, they paid for in full. Most of them, right? But here, who has paid their stuff in full? Show me. No one in the United States pays their things in full. They pay with credit cards, everything, their cars, their houses, even their food. So picking South Africa and talk about in the South Africans in the slums. No, there's no slums in South Africa. I mean, they have mukukus. That doesn't mean it's a slum. It just means right now the person cannot afford a big house. They chose to live there. That's understandable. Calling it a slum is a different thing. Okay? There is so many examples here in your home country, United States of America, to give. I feel like you were wrong for that choice of an example, right? That is all I'm saying. And that is my 2 cents about this situation, right? There's many examples to give in this country. Just because a country is in Africa, or you can just, because some people they just kind of develop things in their head and think because it's Africa, this is like this. No, they just come up with things, things that are not even real. Like, I don't remember South Africa having slums or people living in slums. Like, that was a new one for me. I said, I got to start a channel to kind of be having my opinion out here in things, because people kind of run out with things and no one comes out and even correct that situation. She said that everybody just going with their life. I'm like, no, There's no slums in South Africa, and that's really got to be corrected, right? Find another example in the United States to give that is horrible like that, because no, you cannot cross over the seas and go all the way to South Africa to pick it and give an example. Bad example about it, by the way. As many here you can give. That is my 2 cents about that episode of the Diary CEO with Stephen and this lady called Codie, and that's what I'm correcting here. I don't have any other problem with them regarding their shows, regarding what they do. No, actually, Stephen's show is amazing, and her show, her stuff, I think she's amazing. The only thing I was just correcting was just the particular situation and that conversation and that example they gave in that particular time, so everybody can understand what I'm trying to say. That's it for this episode, and I'll see you in the next one when I give my 2 cents. Bye for now. All right, that's a wrap up today's video. Thank you for spending a moment with my 2 cents. If this gave you something to think about, hit the like button and share your 2 cents in the comments. Make sure to subscribe for more truth, perspective, and unapologetic honesty. I spoke my mind. Now the floor is yours. Turn on the bell so you can never miss what comes up next. And remember, stay aware, stay real, and never be afraid to stand on what you believe in. That's my 2 cents.